What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Canelo Alvarez. Man, first of all, I gotta admit it. I was completely wrong, bro. I thought that Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga would do like 150, maybe 200,000 max pay-per-view buys, but I was wrong, bro. And Canelo continues to show why, hey, he's the cash cow of the sport, So I want to first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga because again, bro, I thought it wasn't gonna do as much, and I was wrong. And the thing about me is, bro, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, bro. And this is good for the sport, bro. I'm glad, Canelo Alvarez went up against the UFC, and he did great. He did successful numbers, bro. 650,000 pay-per-view buys. That's great numbers, dog. Like I'm utterly I'm amazed. So I want to give a huge shout out to Canelo Alvarez, bro. Great accomplishment, bro. And now, hey, again, the whatever you do next is on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But definitely want to give look into the articles or get into the articles. Then I'm going to talk about what's possibly next because it's rumored that Canelo Alvarez could be targeting Conor McGregor next. All right, so shout out to Boxing News 24. It says Canelo versus Berlanga pay-per-view buys and live gate revenue. Fight fans might not have read the confirmation of the numbers of pay-per-view buys Canelo Alvarez September 14th fight with Edgar Berlanga pulled in, but the numbers prove interesting. It's been reported by multiple sources that the fight in Las Vegas generated a not too shabby 650,000 pay-per-view buys. Also, the fight generated a healthy $17 million at Live Gate, and the fight, of course, taking place at the T-Mobile Arena in Sin City. These numbers prove that Canelo is still a major attraction, and the numbers are especially impressive when we know how Canelo versus Berlanga went head-to-head with UFC event at the same night, which took place at the stunning new Spirit in Vegas. Well over 500,000 pay-per-view buys a boxing match is good business on any night. Even more so when there are some major competition going on down the same night and just down the street. Also, who aside from the hardcore boxing fans really knew who Edgar Berlanga was prior to the fight night. Also, the fight was Canelo's first on Amazon Prime. Was it his first on? No. I thought him versus Jaime McGregor was on Amazon Prime, wasn't it? Or am I tripping? Why did I think him versus Jaime McGregor was on Amazon Prime? Maybe it wasn't. Indeed, the first fight was a hit, and who all worked on it will be pretty pleased right now. Oscar De La Hoya, who bashed the fight both before saying it would flop and after, De La Hoya said it was a dole and we should save our money. Well, first of all, people gotta understand, De La Hoya is a very bitter person, bro. Like, bro, come on, De La Hoya. Like, I was wrong about it because I thought it would do like maybe 150,000, but hey, I'm proud to say Canelo proved me wrong, bro. Shout out to Canelo Alvarez, you know what I'm saying? But De La Hoya is a bitter person, bro. Like, dude gonna always try to find the shade in everything or find, because I saw that post. I saw what he said. As a matter of fact, I'll actually post it on here afterwards about what he had to say. But it's like, fam, come on, bro. You gotta kind of chunk that up. Canelo proved you wrong. He proved me wrong. Canelo versus Berlanga proved a lot of people wrong. I didn't think he was gonna do that much, but it is what it is. But he said, let me see, where was I at? And after De La Hoya said it was a dole and we should have saved our money, has been proven wrong by the numbers. Canelo versus Berlanga fight pulled in. Oscar having declared before the fight that it would not do 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Canelo is still for many the face of boxing in comparison to the pay-per-view buys the Mexican star's latest fight drew. The recent Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney fight pulled around 500,000 buys, while Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin did just 350K buys. The biggest pay-per-view hit this year comes in May when heavyweight rivals Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury boxed their historic 4-belt unification match in the pay-per-view buys reached 1.5 million. I actually did not know that. Imagine, wow, and I was just finna say, bro, I promise I gotta start reading these before I put them on here, but it's like, I was just about to say, now if he did that much with Edgar Berlanga, imagine how much he would do with Benavidez. But it says, they said it for me. Imagine how many pay-per-view buys Canelo could generate if he gave us the fight we all really wanted with him fighting David Benavidez. Can Canelo hit the 1 million pay-per-view number? I'm sorry, can Canelo hit the 1 million pay-per-view number once again before his career is over? And honestly speaking, I mean, you know, we're gonna go over some possible opponents for Canelo, but honestly speaking, I think we all know that this is Canelo's best bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it a buck here. Let's look at let's see here. So let's look at the rankings. All right, so I got the rankings pulled up. Now, here's where things are gonna get sticky for, like, as far as the Canelo. Now, it's rumored that Canelo is gonna possibly try and fight Conor McGregor, but I'll read that next. But as far as possible opponents for the future, I mean, you know, you got Christian Mobili, but he's not a big name. You got Diego Pacheco, who is ranked number 1 with the WBO. He's, you know, Diego Pacheco is not a big name as well. So I don't really see him doing, you know, any, you know, big numbers. But I mean, then again, I didn't see him doing big numbers against with Edgar Berlanga, and he definitely proved me wrong on that. You know, I gotta give Canelo his props. Shout out to Canelo for that, bro. But I don't see him. I mean, Chris, really, like, would anybody really want to see him fight Christian Mobili right now? Even though Mobili is looking like a hot prospect, or not a hot contender, but I just don't see it. You know, I don't see him really doing well. And let me see here. Let's see. Let's look up Conor McGregor. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Okay. It says, shout out to SB Nation. It says, Canelo Alvarez calls out Conor McGregor. Easy money fight, predicts knockout at the time I want. All right. Canelo Alvarez expects to make light work of Conor McGregor if the two ever meet in the boxing ring. The super middleweight champion defends his WBA, WBC, and WBO titles against Edgar Berlanga this Saturday, but hasn't stopped reporters from asking him what he has lined up for his next fight. Boxing reporter Manok Akopian asked Alvarez if he would be interested in fighting UFC star Conor McGregor, which Alvarez found amusing. I know, and then we show boxing is better, Alvarez said, before adding easy money. McGregor, who previously held UFC titles at 145 and 155, has participated in only one pro boxing bout in a high-profile contest that saw him go 9 rounds, I think it was 10 rounds, with the legendary Floyd Mayweather before succumbing and strikes in the 10th. Since August 7, 2017 event, McGregor has competed sporadically in MMA, winning just one of his past 4 fights. He still awaits his booking after an injury forced him out of the fight with Michael Chandler in UFC 303. Asked how long McGregor would last against him, Canelo predicted that he could beat McGregor by knockout whenever he decided to. At the time I want, Alvarez said, 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, whenever I want. Though it's unlikely Alvarez and McGregor even square off under any combat sports rules, said the boxing superstar is going to head-to-head with the UFC itself this weekend, which, you know, he did good. Speaking of that, Canelo Alvarez said, it's nothing, competition is good. May and September are my days, and competition is good. I don't do it in that way. I'm just focused on my team and focused on what I'm doing. So, and if anybody wants to do other shows, it's fine. So Canelo's there, she's standing on his ground, and I love that. All right, so let's go ahead and just talk about Conor McGregor briefly, and then we can talk about what's next for Canelo.
Clapback I know you've all been waiting for. Canelo versus Berlanga. As I predicted, T-Mobile Arena did not sell out. In fact, an entire section of the arena was curtained off. I know people who attended the fight and confirmed these facts for me. And as far as the action, I called it in advance. Another fight that went the distance without any truly exciting moments. Berlanga didn't win one round. He was never remotely in the fight from the first bell. Is this where boxing is going? The bar has been set so low that fans are just happy to see fighters last 12 rounds? What? Fighters are getting praised for simply going the distance with a 35-year-old Canelo who hasn't knocked anybody out since 2021. Don't you all want to see knockouts? I'm from a different time in this sport when fighters went to war in the ring. We wanted to destroy our opponents. I still took the Pacquiao fight knowing my body was broken and old and I couldn't beat him. But I was a warrior. I wanted to be a legend. It's a different mentality, a champion's mentality. Canelo wants to get paid. He avoids Benavides and Bivol, who schooled him just like Mayweather. He wants to cruise easily into retirement. Where are the fighters who have balls? Don't we want to see the best fight the best? Why are we as boxing fans accepting this low-level competition and entertainment?
Now, I've always said this. I mean, and it was so evident from even when Floyd Mayweather, from back in the Floyd Mayweather days, that De La Hoya is a very bitter person. And the reason why I say this is because, like, bro, dude just does not know how to let stuff go, bro. Like, with the situation with him and Floyd for the longest, guys, like, I remember, obviously the build-up for that fight was incredible. Floyd did a lot of taunting and whatnot. And up until 2017, like, De La Hoya was doing stuff like writing a letter to the boxing world saying why people should not buy Floyd versus Conor, but then turned and said how that was bad for boxing, but then turned around and said that he would love to make Canelo versus Conor McGregor. Like, it was a lot of crazy stuff, but De La Hoya is a bitter person, bro. And, like, honestly, man, like, come on, bro. Like, De La Hoya, you gotta just give props and props are due. Granted, yes, I knew that. I felt like Canelo was gonna do. He wasn't gonna do good pay-per-view numbers, but bro, I was wrong, bro. You just gotta bite the bullet and admit, hey, bro, you was wrong, and you were wrong, bro. And then further along, you can't say like it was no exciting moments in that fight, bro. That card, okay. The Danny Garcia versus Erislandy Lara card went as I expected. Pretty boring, and I'm a boxing pugilist, dog. Like, my favorite fighters are slick fighters that know how to, use distance and range. But, bro, let's just call it what it was, bro. That was not an entertaining fight. And so that fight wasn't entertaining. The Rolly fight was okay. But the entertainment was Caleb Plant and Trevor McCombie. And then Canelo Alvarez, like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, that fight was entertaining to me, bro. Like, it wasn't, obviously, like, I don't feel like Berlanga went in there to survive. I just felt like he didn't want to grasp the win. Like, it was more he wanted to win, he just didn't know how to grasp it, and he didn't know how to take control without. He was worried. He was worried about Canelo's counters, but he wasn't like on no Jermell Charlo just trying to survive type stuff. So I give him credit for that. But bro, bottom line, it is what it is. And as far as like Conor McGregor, I'm gonna do a separate video on that. I don't see that being a smart move for Conor McGregor, because this ain't Floyd Mayweather. I would be highly impressed if Conor McGregor went 10 rounds with Canelo. But it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, Canelo gets to, he chooses who he wants to fight. Now, granted, I'm still, I don't do any more videos on it because I've given up on this fight. But I'm always going to be one that supports Canelo versus David Benavidez. I think that does
great numbers. And then, you know, De La Hoya was talking about the gate numbers that Canelo, or the empty crowd that Canelo had, or whatever, the empty section. Bro, he still generated $17 million in revenues, dog. So, since when has $17 million been considered a fail? Like, I mean, you just got to give it to him, bro. I didn't care for this fight either, but bro, hey, it did what it did. You got to give Canelo his credit, and Edgar Berlanga too. I mean, it just is what it is. All right, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Who do you think Canelo should fight next? Who do you think Berlanga should fight next? But what do I know?